So the first question says, because bagels and cream cheese are often eaten together, they are complements. We observe that both the equilibrium price of cream cheese and the equilibrium quantity of bagels have risen. What could be responsible for this pattern? A fall in the price of flour or a fall in the price of milk? So there's a lot of things going on here in this question, so let's break it down. So bagels and cream cheese are complements. That means there's a relationship between these two goods where the two goods are bought together. So if the price of one of the goods goes up, we would expect, all else held equal, that the quantity demanded for both goods would go down, because the quantity demanded for the first good would go down because of the price, and then that the demand for the second good would also go down because of the decrease in quantity demanded for the complement good. So that seems to be contrasted by the context in which the problem provides us, which says that we observe that both the equilibrium price of cream cheese has gone up and the equilibrium quantity of bagels have risen. So if we were holding everything else equal, then this scenario seems to not make sense, because if the price of cream cheese goes up, we would expect that the quantity of bagels would have fallen rather than risen. So the next part gives us some reasoning for why we might see this contradiction, and they talk about a fall in either the price of flour or a fall in the price of milk. And so we can extrapolate that what they're implying is that flour is an input into the production of bagels, and milk is an input into the production of cream cheese. And so we're going to be dealing not with the complement relationship specifically, but more so a change that is resulting from a change in the price of inputs. So let's take a look at what both of these scenarios might look like. So there's a fall in the price of flour, and we say that flour is an input into the production of bagels, right? Then what we would see is that on the bagels market, if we have price on the y-axis and quantity demand in the x-axis, and then we have demand and supply. If the price for flour falls, then that's the input cost that is decreasing. So we know that that would imply that the overall supply of bagels, we'll call this the bagel market, is going to go up. And so that's going to be a rightward shift in the supply, go from S1 to S2. And what has happened? We've seen that price has decreased and quantity demanded, or quantity sold or exchanged, has increased. So equilibrium quantity of bagels has risen. And so this seems to fit the first part of our question, right? We observe that the equilibrium quantity of bagels has risen. In this case, we see that the supply curve has shifted to the right, and part of the result of that shift is an increase in the equilibrium quantity of bagels. Okay, so then what's the next thing that we observe then? So we know that bagels and cream cheese are complement goods. So still price on the y-axis, quantity on the x-axis. This is the cream cheese market. And so let's assume there's a conventional supply and demand curve once again. And part of the other effect of the bagel market shift, of the increase in supply of bagels, is for there to be a reduction in price. And so if we know that there's a reduction in price and that bagels and cream cheese are complement goods, if the price of bagels goes down, that implies that the demand for cream cheese will go up, because these two goods are bought in conjunction, they're bought together. And so the decrease in price of bagels and the increase in quantity demand for bagels means that in the cream cheese market, more people are buying bagels. That means more people must want to buy cream cheese. And so that increase in demand due to a complement good is going to be a rightward shift in the demand curve from D1 to D2, right? And so what's happened here? We've seen an increase in price and an increase in quantity demanded for cream cheese. And so this seems to fulfill the second portion of our scenario, that the equilibrium price of cream cheese has also risen. And so it seems like a fall in the price of flour is a perfect answer for what we want to see. We want to see that fall in the price of flour causes the equilibrium quantity of bagels to rise and causes the equilibrium price of cream cheese to rise, and that's exactly what has happened. So a fall in the price of flour seems to be the best answer. We can briefly look at a fall in the price of milk to see if maybe that could somehow also fulfill these conditions. if there's a fall in the price of milk, we're dealing in the cream cheese market first now. Fall in the price of milk means that the supply of milk is going to go up, right? And so what's going to happen is there's going to be a reduction in price and an increase in quantity demanded. And immediately we see that this doesn't fulfill the conditions that we're looking for, right? We're looking for a scenario that causes equilibrium price of cream cheese to rise. And in this case, the fall in the price of milk causes the equilibrium price of cream cheese to decrease. And so we can be very confident then in our answer that a fall in the price of flour is the correct reasoning for why we would see this context. And so we're going to go ahead and pick that. And hopefully that all makes sense. And we can take a look at what the previous tutor has put as their answer. So the previous tutor said that flour is an input to bagels and milk is an input good to cream cheese. So yep, we know that. If the price of flour falls, this increases the supply of bagels. This increases the quantity of bagels and decreases the price of bagels. A lower price of bagels increases demand for cream cheese, increases demand, which increases the price, and increases the quantity, of cream cheese. So this fits our observation. Let's try the second option. The price of milk falls. This increases the supply of cream cheese. This increases the quantity of cream cheese and decreases the price of cream cheese. A lower price, and so they took it further. A lower price of cream cheese increases the demand of bagels, which increases the price and quantity of bagels. Since the price of cream cheese falls in this scenario, this can't be correct. So perfect, we did the exact same thing. So great answer. Nothing wrong with that. We're very happy with that, and we can move on to the next question.